The galaxy's greatest fleets had once celebrated in pride and confidence. Now uncertainty and tension filled their ranks. Beyond the nebula, Earth's dreadnoughts moved with quiet authority, coordinating flawlessly with the human fleet. The alien admirals could no longer rely on size or firepower alone. The humans had shifted the balance of power without firing a single shot. Commander Elena Torres stood on the observation deck of the human command ship, watching the distant dreadnoughts. Their engines glowed like twin suns, shields rippling in gentle waves and weapons quietly adjusting for maximum efficiency. Every movement was precise, calculated, and purposeful. Lieutenant Raj leaned over the holographic display, eyes wide. "Commander, their shields are adapting instantly to energy pulses from the alien fleets. Every time they fire, the shields absorb and adjust." "It's incredible," Elena nodded. "That is Earth engineering. Not just strong but clever. Humans anticipate and adapt. That is what makes us unique." Across the galaxy, alien commanders scrambled. Admiral Tralkesh barked orders, attempting to regain control. "Form the battle lines!" "Engage the humans." His officers hesitated. Each command seemed already countered by the human fleet and the massive dreadnoughts. Their energy weapons fired, only to be deflected or absorbed with no effect. Lieutenant Ayla pointed to the display. "Commander, they're outmaneuvering entire squadrons with smaller ships. Look at the speed and coordination. They're everywhere at once." Elena smiled faintly. "That is human teamwork. Agile ships working together, exploiting every opening. Remember, size does not equal power. Observation, adaptation, and precision do." The alien fleets had assumed that humans were small, weak, and predictable. They had relied on raw numbers and flashy weapons. But humans did not fight like the others. Their tactics were clever, their movements precise, and their decisions coordinated. Every ship in the human fleet acted as part of a whole, guided by experience, ingenuity, and instinct. Across the battle space, the Earth dreadnoughts demonstrated unprecedented capabilities. Modular weapons reconfigured instantly, shields adjusted to each incoming attack, and propulsion systems allowed instantaneous shifts in position. Even gravity wells and asteroid fields were used strategically, forcing alien ships into vulnerable formations without a direct attack. Lieutenant Raj gasped. "Commander, they're using the environment itself to control the battle. No one has ever done that before." Elena's eyes shone with pride. "Humans see possibilities where others see limits. That is what separates us, and that is why we are never to be underestimated." The alien fleets faltered. Ships collided slightly, formations wavered, and communication lines buzzed with confusion. Officers argued over strategy, unsure how to respond to the unexpected efficiency and intelligence of the humans. Admiral Rek barked loudly. "Do not let them dictate the battle. We are the strongest in the galaxy. Strike now." But the humans were already anticipating this. Small agile ships darted in, collecting data on alien weapon patterns, relaying information instantly to the dreadnoughts. Shields adjusted, propulsion systems shifted, and the human fleet created openings in the alien formations without firing a shot. Lieutenant Ayla pointed at the display, voice trembling with excitement. "Commander, look! They're following our lead. Alien fleets are being manipulated by the humans' strategy." "They don't even know it," Elena nodded. "Exactly. This is how humans win, not by sheer power, but by thinking faster, moving smarter, and working together. Remember this moment. This is HFY in action." As the battle space unfolded, the alien fleets began to realize the extent of human capability. Massive warships, once thought unbeatable, found themselves outmaneuvered by smaller, coordinated human ships. Weapon systems that could destroy planets were being rendered ineffective by careful positioning, shields, and adaptive tactics. "Commander," Raj said, pointing to the display, "the aliens are trying to regroup. But every move we anticipate, their own maneuvers are being turned against them." Elena leaned over, voice calm but firm. "That is human intelligence. Every decision we make considers the enemy, the environment, and the capabilities of our fleet. Preparation and adaptation are more powerful than raw force." The dreadnoughts themselves became even more impressive. Each massive vessel moved in perfect harmony with the smaller human ships. Energy pulses that would have shattered conventional hulls were absorbed and redirected. Weapons reconfigured instantly to respond to every threat, and the dreadnought's presence alone forced alien commanders to reconsider their strategies. Across the battlefield, alien officers whispered, How can humans do this? How can they anticipate every move? It's impossible! Some admirals tried to retreat, hoping to regroup or negotiate. Others sent messages demanding explanation. But the Earth Dreadnoughts did not respond with aggression. They held their positions, controlled the flow of battle, and demonstrated power without unnecessary destruction. Elena watched it all calmly. Observe carefully. Humans do not need to fight to show strength. Coordination, preparation, and intelligence are enough. The galaxy will learn that we are more than appearances. We are capable, resilient, and clever. Lieutenant Ayla pointed at the communication logs. Commander, some alien fleets are asking for parley. They realize their assumptions were wrong. They want to understand human strategy. Elena nodded. Exactly. That is what patience and preparation can achieve. Humans survive and thrive not by acting hastily, but by thinking, analyzing, and acting when the moment is right. The tide of the battle continued to shift. Alien fleets, once confident in their superiority, found themselves hesitant and disorganized. Their advanced weapons could not penetrate the adaptive shields of the Dreadnoughts. Their fastest ships could not match the coordinated speed of human squadrons. And their most sophisticated AI systems were outpaced by human creativity and decision-making. Even without firing a shot, humans had changed the battle's outcome. Alien fleets realized that intelligence, teamwork, and foresight mattered more than numbers or raw power. The galaxy's greatest fleets had been humbled by strategy, not by force. Lieutenant Raj whispered, Commander, they're looking to us now. They know humans are different. They're starting to respect us. Elena's lips curved in a small smile. Yes, respect earned through capability, not intimidation. This is what HFY is about. Humans surviving, thriving, and proving their worth in ways others cannot imagine. The battle space remained tense but controlled. Humans guided the flow, keeping alien fleets in check without engaging in unnecessary conflict. Their coordination with the Earth Dreadnoughts ensured that every move was anticipated, every weakness exploited, and every potential threat neutralized. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. Humans, they are not what we thought. They are extraordinary. Admiral Trelkesh tried to maintain morale. Do not listen to rumors. Humans are small, insignificant. Our fleets are still the strongest. But the evidence was undeniable. Alien officers observing the precision, adaptability, and intelligence of humans could not ignore what they were seeing. Small ships danced around massive dreadnoughts, protecting them, relaying information and maintaining perfect formation. The humans had turned the tide without firing a shot, proving that skill, strategy, and teamwork outweighed sheer size and firepower. Elena turned to her officers, voice steady and commanding. Remember this. Humans survive and excel because we think, adapt, and act together. We do not need to dominate with size alone. Intelligence, courage, and unity define our strength. The galaxy will see it today. The Earth Dreadnoughts continued their silent control of the battlefield. Their presence alone reshaped the actions of the alien fleets. Ships hesitated, formations wavered, and commanders reconsidered their strategies. Even the most arrogant leaders understood that humans were not to be underestimated. From the observation deck, Elena watched the scene unfold with quiet satisfaction. Humans had always faced impossible odds, and yet they had survived, adapted, and triumphed. Today was no different. The galaxy's greatest fleets had learned a lesson that would echo for generations. Humans were special, not because of size or weapons, but because of intelligence, unity, and courage. Lieutenant Ayla pointed out one final detail. Commander, the aliens are trying to coordinate now, but every move they make is anticipated by humans. They're learning the hard way that they cannot outthink us. Elena nodded. Exactly. The battle is not about destruction. It is about understanding and control. Humans excel at both. As the hours passed, alien fleets began to recognize humans' true capabilities. Some sent messages requesting alliances. Others simply withdrew from positions of confrontation. The galaxy had witnessed something unprecedented. A smaller, underestimated species demonstrating superiority not through force but through ingenuity, strategy, and teamwork. Elena turned to her officers, voice calm and proud. Prepare to maintain this control. Remember, our strength is not only in the dreadnoughts, but in every ship, every officer, every human who can think and act together. That is what makes us extraordinary. The stars around the capital city glowed softly. Alien fleets moved with caution, unsure how to respond further, and humans, with their smaller ships and massive dreadnoughts, had turned the tide completely without the need for large-scale destruction. The galaxy's capital, once filled with celebration and boasting, had grown quiet. Alien admirals whispered among themselves, reviewing reports and trying to understand what had just occurred. Humans, once underestimated, had completely shifted the perception of power in the galaxy. Commander Elena Torres stood on the observation deck of the human command ship, watching the distant Earth dreadnoughts move with precise coordination. They glimmered under the starlight, massive yet graceful, controlled yet imposing. Every officer aboard the ship felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. Humans had demonstrated what the galaxy had failed to see. Intelligence, courage, and unity could outmatch raw power. Lieutenant Raj approached Elena, eyes wide. "Commander, the alien fleets. They are no longer aggressive. Some are requesting communication. Others are respectful. They actually want to learn from us," Elena nodded. "Exactly. Humans survive not by brute force alone, but by thinking ahead, adapting and working together. Now the galaxy is beginning to recognize that." Messages began streaming in from alien commanders. Some offered alliances. Others requested guidance on strategy and coordination. Humans responded carefully, sharing knowledge without arrogance. Every communication emphasized cooperation, safety, and mutual respect. The galaxy had witnessed the true capability of humanity, and it was something they could not ignore. Across the capital, smaller human ships moved in perfect formation with the massive dreadnoughts, conducting drills, relaying data, and maintaining control of the region. Every ship acted as part of a larger plan. The alien fleets, while still vast and powerful, had become cautious, observing the humans' coordination with awe and curiosity. Lieutenant Ayla pointed to the display, voice soft with wonder. "Commander, look at the alien reactions. They're studying us, analyzing our formations, trying to understand our decisions. Humans are being respected in ways I never imagined." Elena's expression was calm but proud. "That respect is earned through action, not words. Humans do not boast. We demonstrate our strength through ingenuity, teamwork, and courage. Today we have shown the galaxy exactly what that means." Admiral Tralkesh of the Vryn, who had once mocked humans, now spoke quietly with his officers. "Perhaps we were wrong. They are small, yes, but coordinated, clever, and fast. They see the battlefield differently than we do. This is remarkable." Even Admiral Rek, known for his arrogance, sent a formal request for dialogue with the human command. He admitted reluctantly that humans were formidable, not because of their ships alone, but because of their intelligence and adaptability. In the command room of the human fleet, Elena gathered her officers. Holographic displays showed the positions of alien fleets, human ships, and the Earth dreadnoughts. Every movement was calm, organized, and deliberate. "Observe carefully," Elena said. "Respect is earned, and humans have earned it. But we must continue to act with patience and integrity. The galaxy is learning from us. Our actions today will shape how humans are perceived for generations to come." Lieutenant Raj glanced at her, eyes wide. "Commander, this is more than a battle. We've changed everything. We've shown them that humans are capable of thinking and acting in ways no other species can." Elena nodded. "Yes, and that is what HFY truly means. Humans are not the strongest by size or firepower, but by intelligence, courage, and unity. Today the galaxy has witnessed it. Across the battlefield, alien fleets began to adjust their formations. They no longer attempted reckless attacks. Instead, they observed, learned, and coordinated cautiously. Some sent messages offering cooperation, seeking training in tactics and strategy. Humans responded generously, sharing knowledge and demonstrating techniques that emphasized teamwork and problem-solving. In the distant nebula, the Earth dreadnoughts continued their silent presence. Their appearance alone had changed the course of the standoff. They were massive, yet they moved with grace. Their shields absorbed energy attacks effortlessly, and their modular systems adapted instantly to every situation. The aliens could no longer rely on raw power alone. Humans had introduced a new standard. Intelligence and coordination could outperform even the most formidable forces. Lieutenant Ayla pointed at the display again. "Commander, they're beginning to follow our lead. Alien ships are adjusting formations to mirror human strategies. They're learning from us, Elena smiled faintly. Exactly. Humans survive by teaching as much as we act. We inspire, guide, and adapt. That is our strength. As hours passed, the alien fleet stabilized. They no longer moved with arrogance but with caution, respecting the humans' skill and foresight. Some fleets withdrew, choosing to observe rather than confront. Others requested direct communication with the human command, eager to understand strategy, coordination, and the thinking behind the humans' actions. In the calm after the storm of tension, Elena addressed her officers. Remember this moment. Humans have changed the galaxy's perception today, not through destruction, but through intelligence, coordination, and courage. Never forget what makes us extraordinary. Lieutenant Raj grinned. Commander, the galaxy is finally starting to see humans as more than underdogs. We're being respected. Elena's eyes shone with pride. Yes, Raj, and that respect is only the beginning. We will continue to demonstrate what humans can do, and we will always remember that our greatest strength lies in our mind, our spirit, and our unity. Across the capital, humans and aliens alike watched the Earth dreadnoughts moving with calm precision. Citizens marveled at their size, their beauty, and their intelligence. Children of various species stared in awe, learning a lesson in humility and respect. Humans had shown that true power was not measured by weapons alone, but by thinking, cooperating, and acting with foresight. Some alien commanders approached human officers directly. They asked questions, shared observations, and requested demonstrations of tactics. Humans responded with patience and clarity, guiding without arrogance. They emphasized cooperation, learning, and preparation. It was a new model for galactic relations, one that placed intelligence and respect above domination. Lieutenant Ayla whispered, Commander, they are actually listening to us. They want to learn, not fight. Elena nodded. That is our greatest victory. Humans do not need to conquer to be respected. We lead by example, by showing what can be achieved through thinking, unity, and courage. Messages continued to arrive from alien fleets far and near. Some expressed gratitude for preventing unnecessary conflict. Others sought alliances, recognizing humans as equals, if not superiors, in certain aspects of strategy and coordination. The galaxy had begun to accept a new truth. Humans were extraordinary. Elena watched the stars beyond the capital, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. Humans had faced impossible odds countless times in their history. They had adapted, learned, and triumphed. Today, the galaxy had seen this once again. Lieutenant Raj asked quietly, Commander, do you think they will ever underestimate us again? Elena shook her head, a faint smile on her lips. Perhaps some will. But we will be ready. Humans survive, thrive, and excel because we are adaptable. That is what makes us special. That is what makes us humans. The Earth dreadnoughts, silent and imposing, began their slow retreat toward Earth. Their mission was complete. They had demonstrated human capability, protected the galaxy from reckless engagement, and inspired awe and respect. Even without firing a single shot, they had changed the course of galactic history. Across the capital, humans celebrated quietly. They did not need loud parades or flashy displays. Their achievement was recognized through action, intelligence, and courage. Every officer aboard every ship understood the significance of what had occurred. Elena turned to her officers, voice calm, but filled with pride. Today, humans have earned the respect of the galaxy. We have shown that size and power are not everything. Intelligence, courage, and unity define us. Never forget this lesson. It will guide us in every challenge to come. Lieutenant Ayla smiled. Commander, humans have truly shown what HFY means. We are special, and the galaxy now knows it. Elena nodded. Yes, Ayla, and it is only the beginning. Humans will continue to explore, to learn, and to lead, not through fear, but through knowledge, creativity, and courage. That is our true strength. The stars of the galaxy shone brightly that night. Alien fleets moved with care, humans maintained order, and the Earth dreadnoughts glimmered at the edge of space. The galaxy had witnessed a new chapter in history. Humans once underestimated had proven their worth. They had demonstrated that intelligence, unity, and courage could surpass even the most formidable fleets. Commander Elena Torres looked out at the stars one last time before turning to her officers. Remember this day. Remember how humans, underestimated and small, changed the galaxy without firing a single shot. That is who we are. That is HFY. That is humanity. And with that, the galaxy began to see humans in a new light, respected, admired, and recognized for their ingenuity, courage, and spirit. The legacy of the Earth Dreadnoughts and their fleet would be remembered for generations, a testament to what humans could achieve when united and determined. The celebration of humanity's true capability had begun, not with noise or spectacle, but with quiet intelligence, strategy, and courage that the galaxy would never forget. The stars had always called to humanity. Since the first telescope captured the light of distant worlds, people on Earth had looked up with wonder, imagining what might be out there. For centuries, humans had dreamed of joining the great community of intelligent life among the stars. Many thought it was impossible. Some even said humanity was too young, too fragile, or too simple to stand alongside older, more advanced civilizations. But on one quiet night in Earth's orbit, a signal arrived that would challenge everything anyone had believed. On board the research station Horizon, Captain Mira Saeed stared at the glowing screen before her. The station hovered silently above the blue and green of Earth, a monument to human ingenuity. Sensors had detected an unusual energy pulse from a region of space far beyond any known star systems. At first, the reading seemed like a mistake, perhaps a natural cosmic phenomenon, a burst of radiation, or a magnetic storm. But as the data came in, it became clear that this was no natural signal. It was structured, deliberate, and intelligent. Dr. Elias Hart, the chief scientist, leaned over the console, his brow furrowed in excitement. "Captain, this isn't just a signal. It's a path. Coordinates to somewhere we've never been. I've run the calculations a dozen times. It's real." Mira's heart raced. She had spent years training for missions that would push humanity's limits, but this was unlike anything she had imagined. "You mean, it's a map?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Yes," Elias replied, "and it's pointing beyond our solar system. This could be humanity's first contact with something larger." The news spread quickly on Earth. Scientists, engineers, and leaders from every nation gathered to discuss the possibilities. For decades, humanity had built space technology, but nothing had prepared them for this. In record time, plans were made to construct a ship capable of interstellar travel, a vessel that could withstand the vacuum of deep space, navigate faster than light distances, and support a crew for years. The ship would be called Starfire, a symbol of humanity's courage and determination. Mira was chosen as captain not just for her skill, but for her ability to inspire trust and unity among the crew. She was joined by a team of engineers, scientists, and diplomats, each chosen for their expertise and resilience. Among them were Lieutenant Aaron Chen, the navigator with a mind like a computer, Dr. Lena Osi, a biologist who had dreamed of discovering alien life since childhood, and Commander Ravi Singh, a security expert trained to handle dangers both known and unknown. As the final preparations took place, the crew spent long hours studying the signal. It was more than just coordinates. It contained layers of data, strange mathematical patterns, and subtle messages embedded in frequencies only detectable with human ingenuity. Earth's greatest minds worked together to decipher it, combining AI analysis with human intuition. Slowly, a picture emerged. The signal originated from a star system in a distant galaxy, far beyond the reach of current probes. It was an invitation, or perhaps a test. When the day of departure arrived, crowds gathered at the launch site, their eyes filled with awe. Starfire gleamed under the sun, its hull polished to a mirror-like shine. Mira stood on the observation deck, watching the people below, feeling the weight of humanity's hopes on her shoulders. The world seemed to hold its breath. "Remember," she said to her crew, "we carry not just our lives but the dreams of every person on Earth. We must be careful, but we must also be bold. The galaxy is waiting." The countdown began. 10, 9, 8. The engines hummed with power, energy crackling around the ship as the fuel systems engaged. 7, 6. The crew secured their seats and checked every system. 5, 4. Earth's surface became a blur, cities shrinking beneath them. 3, 2. The hum turned into a roar, vibrating through the ship's frame. 1. Ignition. With a flash of light, Starfire leapt into the void, leaving the familiar world behind. For the first time, humans traveled beyond the reach of any previous mission. The stars stretched endlessly before them, each one a distant sun, each one a mystery waiting to be discovered. The first few days were tense. Deep space travel was demanding even with advanced technology. The crew adjusted to the ship's artificial gravity, monitored energy consumption, and maintained the delicate life support systems. Despite the challenges, there was a sense of exhilaration. They were explorers, pioneers, stepping into a future no human had touched before. One evening, as Mira floated in the observation bay, she looked at the galaxy unfolding before her. "Do you think anyone else is out there?" she asked Lena, who was seated beside her analyzing star maps. Lena smiled. "If they are, they're watching us too. That's what the signal meant, isn't it? Someone knew we would find it. Someone wanted us to come." Aaron Chen, tuning the navigation systems, added quietly, "And maybe they want to see what humans are capable of." Mira nodded. The thought both excited and unsettled her. Humanity had always struggled to survive on its own planet. Now they would face the vastness of space, unknown civilizations, and challenges far greater than anything on Earth. But she felt something deep inside, an unshakable belief that humans could rise to the occasion. As weeks passed, the crew worked in harmony. They repaired minor malfunctions, studied the unusual phenomena around them, and continued to follow the coordinates. Strange energy fields pulsed in the darkness of space, sometimes interfering with their instruments, sometimes revealing beautiful, almost magical displays of light. The crew learned to trust each other, relying on teamwork and communication to overcome obstacles. And then one day, sensors detected something extraordinary. A massive structure appeared on the horizon, glowing faintly against the blackness of space. It was enormous, clearly artificial, and unlike anything built by humanity. The ship's AI identified it as a potential gateway or station. "Captain," Aaron said, his voice tense, "we are not alone. Something is waiting for us." Mira's heart raced. This was the moment they had been preparing for, the first true contact with the unknown. "Prepare to hail them," she said. "And whatever happens, remember who we are. We are humans. We do not give up. We do not run from the unknown. We face it." As the ship approached the structure, the crew realized the signal had been a guide, a test, and an invitation all at once. The galaxy was bigger, older, and more mysterious than anyone had imagined, and yet humanity had taken the first step. They were no longer just observers of the stars. They were participants. From the observation deck, Mira gazed out into the vastness. She thought of Earth, shining like a small blue gem in the distance, and she knew one thing for certain. Whatever awaited them, humans would face it together. They would show the galaxy that Earth's children were not just survivors. They were explorers, innovators, and perhaps one day, equals among the stars. And so, with the unknown stretching ahead, Starfire moved forward, carrying the hopes, dreams, and courage of all humanity into the infinite dark. The moment had finally come. Captain Mira Saeed and the crew of Starfire were invited to meet the Galactic Council in person. The Council's chamber was a vast glowing hall suspended in space, its walls alive with energy patterns and shifting colors. Representatives of countless species floated and moved throughout the room, each one unique. Some made of crystal, some of light, some with forms too strange to describe. Despite their differences, they shared a sense of authority, wisdom, and power that immediately impressed the humans. Mira stepped forward with confidence. "Remember," she whispered to her crew, "we are here not as warriors but as humans. Our strength is in intelligence, morality, and unity." The council's leader, a being known as Jaril, addressed the assembly. Its form was a flowing wave of energy, shifting in shape and color, yet its voice was calm and commanding. "You are the first representatives of a species that was not expected to reach our borders so soon. Many question your readiness. Humanity, you must prove that your kind can survive among the stars, not just physically but morally, intellectually, and socially." The challenge was clear. The Council would test every aspect of humanity's abilities. The tests were designed to measure problem-solving, cooperation, diplomacy, and ethics. The first trial involved navigation and strategy. Using a simulation, Starfire's crew had to maneuver through a field of moving energy obstacles, representing a volatile region of space. Failure could be catastrophic. Aaron Chen, the navigator, took the lead. His hands moved over the controls with precision. "We can do this. Trust the calculations, trust each other." The simulation began. Energy pulses surged from all directions. Many older species would have panicked, but humans worked together. Dr. Lena Ose calculated trajectories for moving objects, Ravi Singh monitored structural stability, and Mira coordinated the crew. Slowly, carefully, Starfire weaved through the field, completing the trial faster and more efficiently than even the Council's own benchmarks. The chamber echoed with murmurs. Some Council members were impressed. Others were skeptical, unwilling to admit that humans could excel so quickly. Next came the test of diplomacy. Humanity was paired with a Council member from a species known as the Viridans, known for being cunning and strict in negotiations. The task was to negotiate a trade agreement between two hypothetical planets with conflicting interests. Many species failed this test, resorting to intimidation, deception, or self-interest. Mira spoke clearly, calmly, and honestly. "We believe that cooperation benefits all parties. We are not here to dominate, but to create solutions that help everyone." The Viridan representative, initially distrustful, gradually responded in kind. Through patience, understanding, and compromise, the humans successfully completed the negotiation. The Council recorded the outcome, noting that humans could combine logic with empathy, a quality often missing in other civilizations. But the most difficult test lay ahead, a moral and ethical challenge. The Council presented a scenario in which a small alien civilization was in danger from a natural cosmic event. The crew had to decide whether to intervene, risking resources and lives, or remain neutral to avoid conflict with other species. The crew debated quietly. "If we act, we might save lives, but we could anger powerful factions," said Ravi Singh. "We cannot ignore this," Mira replied firmly.
"Humanity has survived by caring for each other."
"This is what defines us. We do not turn away from those in need." Together, the crew devised a plan that used Starfire's resources efficiently while minimizing risk. They executed the plan in the simulation flawlessly, rescuing the civilization and providing guidance for recovery. Even skeptical Council members could not deny the courage, wisdom, and morality of humanity's choice. However, not all members were pleased. A small faction, led by a species called the Krint, argued that humans were reckless and untested. They attempted to interfere with the next trial, sending deceptive signals and creating distractions in the simulation. Mira and her crew faced the sabotage with calm determination. Aaron recalculated paths in seconds. Lena adapted to the changing conditions, and Ravi identified the interference and neutralized it. Humanity not only completed the trial but did so with ingenuity and grace, turning an attempt at sabotage into a demonstration of teamwork and intelligence. By the end of the trials, the Galactic Council was stunned. Never before had a young species from a single planet shown such adaptability, creativity, and moral integrity. The Council members debated vigorously. Some argued that humans were inexperienced and unpredictable. Others saw promise, a species capable of thinking beyond self-interest, balancing courage with wisdom, and demonstrating a potential for cooperation that few civilizations had shown. Captain Mira addressed the Council. Her voice was steady, her tone respectful yet firm. "We are not the oldest nor the most technologically advanced, but humanity has learned to survive and thrive together. We have overcome great challenges on our home planet. We are explorers, learners, and problem solvers. If you allow us, we will continue to grow, not just for ourselves, but for the benefit of the galaxy." A silence followed. For a moment, the chamber felt suspended in time. Then Jariel spoke. "You have proven that your species can think, adapt, and act with integrity. Your courage and cooperation are noted. Yet the question remains, can humans sustain these qualities under the pressures of galactic society?" Mira met the gaze of the Council with unwavering confidence. "We will face challenges, yes, but we will face them together. That is the essence of humanity. That is why we belong in the galaxy." The chamber remained quiet, but a few representatives, older, wise, and patient, nodded in approval. Some of the skeptical members began to reconsider their position. Humans had not only completed the trials, they had shown qualities that even the Council had not anticipated. The crew returned to Starfire, exhausted but exhilarated. "We did it," Lena said softly. We actually did it. Mira allowed herself a small smile. Yes, but this is only the beginning. We have made our first impression. Now we must continue to show that humans are more than capable, more than deserving, and more than ready. As the ship moved away from the chamber, Aaron looked out at the glowing towers of the council station. Captain, do you think they truly believe in us now? Mira thought for a moment. Some do, some are still unsure. But we've opened the door. They have seen that humans are capable of more than they expected. And once the galaxy witnesses what humanity can achieve, there will be no doubt. The trial of humanity was over, but the journey was far from complete. Across the galaxy, news of Earth's arrival and its performance in the trials spread quickly. Some species were intrigued, others cautious, but none could ignore the humans who had reached the Galactic Council uninvited, untested yet undaunted. Back on Starfire, the crew prepared for what would come next, earning the Council's respect, navigating the complexities of galactic politics, and proving that humanity's values, courage, intelligence, and morality were strengths that could shape not just Earth's future, but the future of the galaxy itself. Mira gazed at the stars beyond the Council's chambers. She thought of Earth, of the people who had dreamed of this moment for centuries. Humanity had taken its first true step into the galaxy. They had faced judgment, navigated tests, and demonstrated what it meant to be human. And she knew deep in her heart that this was only the beginning. The galaxy would challenge them, tempt them, and test them again. But humanity had proven that even in the face of the unknown, it could rise, adapt, and inspire. For the first time, humans were no longer observers. They had passed their first trial among the stars, and the universe had taken notice. The trials had ended, but the journey for recognition had only begun. Captain Mira Saeed and the crew of Starfire knew that proving humanity's worth to the Galactic Council would take more than completing tests. It would take consistent courage, creativity, and diplomacy, qualities that defined humans in ways many alien civilizations had never encountered. After the trial of humanity, Starfire remained near the Council's orbital station. While they were not yet officially welcomed, they were allowed to interact with select Council members under observation. This was humanity's chance to demonstrate not only intelligence but also values, morality, compassion, and the ability to act for the greater good. One day, as the crew was analyzing nearby star systems, a distress signal appeared on their sensors. A small alien transport had drifted dangerously close to a collapsing asteroid belt. It was a risky situation, as navigating the belt required extreme precision. Many species might have hesitated, fearing failure or political consequences, but humans acted without delay. Captain, they're in real danger, Lieutenant Aaron Chen said, his voice steady but urgent. If we don't help, they won't survive. Mira did not hesitate. Set a course. Prepare the rescue protocols. Humanity saves life when it can. Dr. Lena Osi coordinated with Aaron, calculating safe trajectories through the asteroid belt, while Commander Ravi Singh prepared the ship's energy shields for rapid maneuvering. The team worked with precision and trust, a synergy that only humans seemed capable of producing under pressure. The rescue was tense. Massive asteroids shifted unpredictably, and a single miscalculation could have destroyed the transport, and possibly Starfire. But humans adapted. Lena adjusted the calculations on the fly. Ravi maintained shields with split-second timing, and Aaron navigated through the chaotic field. Mira's calm leadership guided every move. Finally, the transport was stabilized. Alien crew members inside sent frantic thanks, their voices shaking with relief. Humanity had saved them. Even from a distance, members of the Galactic Council observed every action. They were impressed, not just by the technical skill, but by the courage and moral resolve of the humans. Word spread quickly through the Council's networks. Messages about the rescue reached distant sectors. Species that had been skeptical now whispered of Earth's ingenuity and compassion. Humanity's reputation began to grow slowly and steadily, like a ripple expanding across the galaxy. But not everyone was pleased. The Krint faction, still wary of humans, questioned whether the rescue was motivated by self-interest or politics. They sent representatives to monitor Starfire, testing the crew with minor challenges and subtle provocations. Humans faced each challenge without complaint, relying on intelligence, teamwork, and moral clarity rather than aggression or deception. One notable encounter involved a diplomatic disagreement between two alien factions over trade rights. The Krint hoped humans would side with one party, causing a rift. Instead, Mira and her crew proposed a solution that allowed both factions to benefit, creating a compromise that none had expected. Even the Krint could not deny the elegance of humanity's solution. As the weeks passed, the crew found themselves not only navigating space, but also navigating the complexities of galactic politics. They attended forums, observed debates, and engaged in discussions with council members from diverse species. Humans listened carefully, asked thoughtful questions, and offered insights that reflected both logic and empathy. Slowly, hesitation turned into respect. During a particularly important forum, Mira was invited to speak before a large assembly of council representatives. Her voice, clear and confident, echoed through the chamber. "Council members," she began, "we are young as a species and we have much to learn, but humanity has endured challenges that have tested our courage, our intelligence, and our morality. We have learned to work together, to solve problems, and to act with compassion. We do not seek dominance, only cooperation. We wish to contribute to the galaxy, not take from it." The chamber was silent. For a moment, it seemed the humans had only a small impact, but then a ripple of acknowledgement spread through the assembly. Representatives from several species nodded, impressed by the clarity and honesty of Mira's words. Some of the most skeptical observers began to reconsider their assumptions. In addition to diplomacy, the crew continued scientific exploration. They shared knowledge of Earth's biology, technology, and environmental practices. They also studied alien ecosystems, learning and recording data to share back on Earth. This exchange of knowledge further demonstrated humanity's willingness to cooperate and contribute to the broader galaxy. One evening, as the crew prepared to rest, Lena spoke quietly to Mira. "Captain, do you realize what we're doing? We're showing the galaxy that humans can think, care, and act responsibly. That's something many older species never manage consistently." Mira smiled, a mixture of pride and humility in her expression. "Yes, Lena, that's the key. We don't just solve problems. We do it while respecting life, ethics, and cooperation. That is humanity's true strength." The turning point came during a large interstellar conference. A rogue group of council members attempted to provoke a crisis by spreading false information about a territorial dispute. They expected humans to react hastily, creating conflict. Instead, Starfire's crew investigated calmly, verified the facts, and proposed a fair resolution. Their actions prevented a potential war and earned admiration from even the most skeptical council members. "This is remarkable," Aaron said, observing the reactions. "They expected chaos. We gave them order. And integrity," Mira added. "That is what earns respect. Not fear, not power, but character." As humanity's reputation grew, invitations to collaborate increased. Humans were asked to participate in joint missions, scientific councils, and diplomatic negotiations. Slowly, Earth was no longer an outsider but a participant, a species whose contributions mattered. Yet Mira knew there was more work ahead. Respect was earned gradually, and humanity had to maintain its principles even as stakes grew higher. She gathered her crew in the observation deck, overlooking the glowing towers of the council station. "We've shown them what humans can do," she said. "But respect is not just given, it must be proven again and again. Our journey is far from over. There will be challenges, temptations, and mistakes. But if we stay true to our values, we can continue to grow, learn, and inspire. That is the essence of humanity." The crew nodded, feeling the weight and excitement of their achievements. They had not only survived the scrutiny of the council, but they had also begun to shape the perception of Earth and its people across the galaxy. The Galactic Council, once hesitant and skeptical, was now watching closely. Humanity had proven that they were not a threat, but a species capable of courage, intelligence, creativity, and morality. These qualities were rare in the galaxy, and slowly, humans were becoming a symbol of hope, ingenuity, and reliability. As Starfire prepared for the next phase of its mission, official recognition and eventual inclusion in the Council, Mira reflected on the journey. From the first signal that had called humanity to the stars, to the trials, rescues, and negotiations, the crew had shown that humans could not only survive among the stars but thrive, and in doing so, They had inspired countless beings across the galaxy. The ripple of humanity's courage and morality would continue to spread, proving that even a young, small species from a blue planet could make a lasting mark among the stars. Mira looked out at the endless expanse beyond the station. She thought of Earth, shining brightly in the distance. Humanity had begun to earn its place not through domination or power, but through character, creativity, and compassion. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and wonders, but humans were ready. The crew of Starfire had not only earned respect, they had shown the universe that Earth's people were capable of greatness, and for the first time, the stars felt a little closer, as though the galaxy itself was watching humanity, waiting to see what they would do next.